Hey guys, Trisha's wife here, coming back from a little bit of a bat hiatus to bring you the third installment of my Riddler trophy guide for Arkham Asylum. Picking up back where we left off on Arkham Island, we're going to proceed to the Penitentiary. In the base, there's going to be a wall you can break through, and that's where you're going to find the second Chronicle. It took a little bit for me to find it, so I left in a lot of contextual wandering so you could figure out exactly where you were going. So you see here I grapple up to just under the balcony, and that's where the wall can be found. Moving forward with the story, after your cutscene with Harley, you're going to need to find an alternate route to the medical facility. On your way to do this on the roof, you're going to go all the way to the right, and you'll find your next Riddler trophy. When entering the first piece of ductwork in the medical facility, you're going to notice a little intersection. Proceeding down there is where you're going to find your next Riddler trophy. And with this in the bag, so to speak, let's move on to the Sanatorium.
Well done! You passed the elementary grade!
By utilizing your bat zoom and positioning yourself on the far side of that center grade in the Sanatorium is how you're going to solve your next riddle.
Easy, isn't it?
One of the walls on that very same floor is also very susceptible to explosives, and if you utilize that little weakness, you're going to find your next Riddler trophy. Particular area of the balcony of the Sanatorium also shares that same little explosive weakness property. Utilizing that, you're going to have the means to solve your next riddle. The grate on the far wall of the base of the Sanatorium has a little secret room that you can pop into if you walk about 6 or 7 steps through the grate. Going through there is where you'll find your next Chronicle of Arkham. And upstairs in the far office, just past Blue Skeletons 8, 9, and 10, is where you're going to find your next interview tape. Taking a side trip to the medical foyer, which is the south door at the ground floor of the Sanatorium, will house our next riddle solution. Also, the revelation that Batman's one true weakness appears to be bending forward. Going around to the other end of the table is where I'll pick up that interview tape. Moving on to the X-ray room, the roof of that office where the doctor is being held is where you're going to find another Riddler trophy.
Till then, keep that trap of yours zipped.
Grappling up to that vent in the upper corridor is going to find us yet another Riddler trophy. In an office that can only be reached after clearing patient observation of the Joker toxin is where you'll solve your next riddle, and the office beyond cash is where you'll find your next interview tape. Taking a look at the whiteboard on the upper balcony of the surgery room is where you'll find the answer to your next riddle. It seems Tommy Elliott does still indeed operate in Arkham. And after rescuing all the doctors, we'll get our first achievement, just what the doctors ordered, for 10 gamer score. And immediately after showing the Scarecrow that nothing scares the goddamn Batman is where we're gonna get our next achievement, Daydreamer, for 10 gamer score. Immediately thereafter in the morgue, focusing on the jar of teeth, is how we're gonna solve our next riddle. As you'll see here, the office at the beginning of the experimental chamber houses both a secrets map and the solution to our next riddle. Is this bear the bane of his life?
Another one? Can it be? No, there's no...
While making your way through the ductwork to disarm the guards in the experimental chamber, you're going to pick up yet another Riddler trophy. And just above the laser security door in the same place is where you're going to find your next Riddler trophy.
It's gonna be so...
And after defeating Bane, we're going to get our next story-related achievement. Baneful Payback for 25 gamer score. And remember kids, For more achievement videos, be sure to check out achievementhunter.com.